I'm breaking down Spielberg's camera work and directing of the setup and reveal of the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. Because what would such a big reveal be without the anticipation and teasing? Learning how Spielberg gets audiences to think and feel the best reveal in movie history.
Because if you can, I'd love to see him.
With people in the office arguing about such petty things as money, a bunch of people are touring Jurassic Park. At first, the tour has no luck seeing the T-Rex, but when they come back, they run into some glitches, and the T-Rex escapes, almost on top of them. That's how you tell a story. This is how Spielberg shows one. Showing someone as vulnerable to a danger is a great way to do that, but instead of putting a danger behind a character, Spielberg introduces the idea of the threat with the use of one of his signature camera moves.
Part of the system for a while, there's a finite amount of memory. You can't use it for everything. I'm going to compile for half an hour.
Quiet, all of you. We're approaching the Tyrannosaur paddock.
This shot starts with the focus of the whole scene thus far, on this argument. But then the camera pans, motivated by us following Samuel Jackson, reveals something that was there the whole time. Not just Muldoon, but the worry on his face. The pan shows how the people having the argument could have seen Muldoon's 1,000-yard stare the whole time. A cut wouldn't have shown that spatial relationship between him and the argument. He was so close, and yet they still missed it. It may even be overlooked in the future. Here, a dolly in is a classic way to create a rising tension and an energy, and to say what he is saying is important.
Approaching the Tyrannosaur paddock.
Part of the power of a camera push-in, similar to a close-up, lies in revealing more of the character's face with detail and emotion, but Spielberg adds an extra layer by heightening the feeling with a mid-beat enhancing tool.
We're approaching the Tyrannosaur paddock.
Muldoon turns right at the top of the tension, which makes his line more direct and stinging.
Paddock.
But his turn toward the camera also adds to the intensity by bringing his determined expression into better view, creating an effect similar to a push-in, but achieved through Muldoon's physical action instead. We have a seemingly standard wide establishing shot here of the T-Rex enclosure, but with a few tricks. The camera slides with the cars as they come in, revealing a section of the fence on the right of frame. It's closer and therefore really big. The wide-angle lens adds a distortion that even exaggerates this. The fence slowly, subtly will become the main character of the scene. The sheer scale of this fence and the fact that we are always seeing it suggests the T-Rex must be enormous. Often movies prolong the full view of a monster villain, revealing only glimpses to heighten suspense. This scene does something similar, but way earlier. Instead of showing the creature itself, it showcases the intense security precautions taken, emphasizing the possibility of danger. Even in shots where the fence isn't technically in frame, we can clearly see it in the reflection. Like cheating two characters to look both toward camera allows you to see reactions from both sides of the conversation. Likewise, reflections can be used to show characters' reactions and what they are seeing in the same moment, making it very economical.
God creates dinosaurs. God destroys dinosaurs. God creates man. Man destroys God. Man creates dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs eat man. Woman inherits the earth.
Characters leaning forward creates that anticipation.
Keep watching the fence.
This shot is needed as an anchor.
What's gonna happen to the goat?
For later, when the park starts to break down, we don't know where the cars have stopped yet.
Where did the vehicle stop?
Instead of answering that question with boring, on-the-nose dialogue, they use the previous setup of
What's gonna happen to the goat?
to get you immediately knowing where you are and again thinking about what's going to happen to the animal when we cut to this. Then with some clever writing, them talking about being afraid cuts in perfectly to the next car with the kids.
I didn't say I was scared.
I didn't say you were scared.
I know.
Hey, where did you find this?
Here we have a signature prolonged wide shot from Spielberg.
And they're expensive. Put them back.
His curiosity, Tim's, is our curiosity, and his getting closer is him acting on it, and the anticipation rises. He might actually see something. All of his actions activating the very visual goggles increases the chance of him discovering the T-Rex. They're oblivious. And the thump starts in another wide Spielberg shot.
You feel that?
We first see Gennaro is too calm, telling us the kids are vulnerable being without an involved adult. Then we get 5 realization cues from Timmy. Where he hears it, he stops moving his feet, a smaller version of someone stopping when walking because they are surprised by something they hear or see.
After you.
You're not taking me to phone.
He takes off his goggles, similar to someone taking off their glasses to add gravitas to the moment, and then he turns around to fully face the possibility, also a cue.
You feel that?
We cut to a close-up, a classic and underutilized way to jack up the tension and heighten our focus. He approaches us as he investigates. All of these cues are getting bigger and more intense as even the close-up turns into an extreme close-up. And then we get a push-in on top of that anticipation. And then a two-parter with a bang in the middle of the push-in, just like we had with Muldoon when he turned to face us mid-movement, and then one after, as if it's an answer to the push-in, stopping. Keeping it alive, we get also a push-in on Timmy's reaction.
Maybe it's the power trying to come back on.
What is that?
Close up again highlights tension. Spielberg artfully guides you through the flow of this next shot. We think we are cutting away to see what she is seeing. Used as an excuse, we pan up to get a good look at her. But it's also we can look up to see this happen. There are double taps of technique added to the feeling of each shot. It's a pattern throughout his work. Lexi backing up hysterically is the first, but then Gennaro gasps at the very end for an extra zing. Tim lifting up the goggles as we push in. These tensions-inducing push-ins are happening one right after the other. Their closeness to each other also drives up the tension more. And then the teasing reveal of first just the claws of the T-Rex. And it's done with layers. As we tilt up, we can only see through the glass. And then we see the parts of the car we are passing until we get a crystal clear image of the T-Rex itself. That's when all that setup about the goat is paid off. And now that we see him, he sees us as he turns into the light. And now that we've been teased, we get the whole beast coming into view, cutting in between the two cars and Alan's ability to get to the kids. And the classic roar tops off the full reveal. And what's reveal without it being appreciated?
Boy, do I hate being right all the time.
You'd think he'd be sick of using them, but Spielberg shows Ian's reaction and then again double taps by having Alan glide in, giving us a closer, more earnest view of his reaction this time, like punching into a close-up with character movement.
All the time.
And then all hell breaks loose. Want to learn why you love this whole movie? Check the comments to sign up for email updates on my own director's commentary, synced to your copy of Jurassic Park. Played as you watch over the whole movie, giving insights into why it's one of the best.